Hey, people. Fresh dot here. Wrong guy. I have a question to ask you guys, and that is, do you guys like boomer shooters? If you said yes to that question, right, I have a video game to recommend you. And if you said no to that question, I don't know, go fucking play some loser-ass RPG game that's an analogy for depression for like the third time. You sad little motherfucker. I'm kidding. Alright, the game that I'm going to be recommending to you today, my friends, is 77p Eggwife, Postal's furry British cousin. Now, if that statement doesn't concern you at all, or ring any warning bells to you, then maybe this little intro bit of gameplay will. Welcome to 77p Eggwife, which from now on I will call Eggwife for the sake of brevity. Eggwife is developed by the so aptly named 77p Studios, and if their Twitter is anything to go by, it's a two-person dev studio, one being a brony, Mumble, and the other being Zapparox. Sorry if I said that wrong, by the way. Your average Max Payne enjoyer, the publisher of Eggwife, is Hyperstrange of Postal Brain Damaged fame, which if you're familiar with that game and or series, you can expect some familiar things in Eggwife. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this so-called review, Eggwife is very vulgar, like poop, piss, and sex jokes vulgar. And I know if you go read any of the Steam reviews, or apparently according to their Twitter feed, not a lot of people like that in this game, and personally, it's part of the game, and this is your only warning if you don't like those kinds of stuff, especially in video games or media. This game is absolutely filled to the brim with it. When you play a boomer shooter, you expect fast-paced gameplay, whether it be from the OG Doom series or any other boomer shooter you've played in recent memory. You expect to go fast, and Eggwife has that in spades. It is not a slow-paced shooter. You are going off the rails like Sonic on a meth binge. And you remember how I brought up how this game's humor is vulgar? I meant it. For example, you know how double jumping is pretty standard in most FPS games nowadays, right? Well, in Eggwife, 77p, the player character, shits their fucking ass to double jump. Yes, they do. You shit on the floor, or wherever you're at. And yes, if you're wondering, you can spam the jump key to do a slow descent, or as I like to call, a light hover. But just like real life, you have limited poop, despite what it feels like. And to refill the poop, you pretty fucking obviously just gotta eat food. It's really not that hard to think of. But eating food and drinking stuff is also your main healing items in this game. On the opposite spectrum of poop, you could fucking piss. You could piss practically forever. And there's no, pissometer. You could just piss all the time. Hell, sometimes you could just fucking piss in people's mouths and they fucking throw up, like what a normal person would do in real life if that happened to them. Also, I believe, even though I feel like it's pretty obvious, yes, your piss can put out fires. Now, since Eggwife is a boomer shooter, it of course has a wide arsenal of weapons for you to use, as well as secrets and collectibles for you to find. However, I'll talk more about the secrets and the collectibles when I talk about the story section in this video. The weapons you find, you can find most of them all, the earliest by level 4, the sewer level. And I know when I say sewer level, some of you cringe. It's not too bad, it's actually kind of funny. And you can find most of the weapons at the latest by level 6, that including the BFG of this game. And since this game is a shooter, let's talk about the funniest thing in this game. The arsenal of absolutely shitpost status firearms you'll be using to destroy your enemies. All of them are, of course, up to British standard of law. For the sake of, not explaining everything in this game in extreme detail, I'm gonna talk about my favorite guns in this game, or at least some of them. Number 1, the Applicator. The Applicator is this game's sniper rifle. And well, this game, if you haven't noticed, has a lot of fucking quirks. Whether it be the enemies being literal piss or fart bubbles, or them being fucking robot shit tanks. So do the weapons. The weapons also have quirks. The Applicator's tee funny haha quirk is it's a bolt action sniper rifle that shoots tampons. Yes, you heard me. It shoots freaking tampons. Now, this game also, with every weapon, has an alternate fire. And that's pretty cool. The sniper rifle's alternate fire slowdowns time, and it also makes you ADS down the scope, which helps you land fucking critical headshots. Now, if I'm being entirely honest, the Applicator is my favorite gun in the entire game. I absolutely love it. Now, for the next 3 weapons that I'll be talking about is the Stigmatic 77,000. This weapon is, in fact, this game's SMG variant, and you're probably wondering, well, why the hell did you say 3? It's only 1 weapon. Well, you can, at first, wield 1, which is an option, or you can add 2, and add a third as a third option. And yes, you can choose to wield either 1, 2, or 3 at a time, depending on the situation, which for each one you do wield increases recoil, but also increases fire rate to an absurd amount, which if this game didn't already have a minigun variant, I would say the 3 of them are already the minigun in this game, because that fire rate is fucking insane, but so is the recoil. It's wild. Sorry for getting loud. Now, there's something I have as a little gripe towards this weapon, and this is quite literally my only gripe for the whole fucking game. You know how I mentioned the fire rate to go haha? Well, on the third one, when you get in the fire rate up to such a high degree, I didn't know this, but apparently it spawns all the nails as projectiles if you shoot them into the fart bubble enemies, cause, yeah, if you shoot the bubble enemies with the nail gun, they'll, like, start to pop and deflate, which kills them significantly faster. I did not know that, and at a certain part in the game, you fight a really fucking big one, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to screw with this guy. I ain't gonna play around, I ain't gonna mess with him. I pulled out all 3 and just held down left click. I was like, alright, why ain't you dying? Can you please hurry up and die faster? And then he started to deflate. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's doing the thing. And then my computer slowed to a fucking halt. It grinded it down to single frames. It was insane. The only time my PC struggled running this game at all was then and there. Don't get me wrong, it was pretty fucking funny. If you're looking in the footage, you just see the fucking stack of nails right there. It's hilarious. And to be honest, that's my only gripe with the game, but hey, it's a valid criticism, because, yeah, I did not expect my PC to slow down that much. I never had a problem like that, even running any of the older, like, Fallout games, like 3 or New Vegas. For it being an automatic weapon, it's pretty damn solid. It's one of my favorites. Also, the alternate fire shoots out a fucking nail bomb, so you could live up to your dreams to being Ted Kaczynski. So, yeah. It shoots it out like the grenade from Half-Life 2's SMG, so if you're familiar with that, you're going to be right at home with this gun's alternate fire. Also, that also increases the fire rate with the amount of SMGs you have. With the first one, it's semi-slow, but it increases when you go to the second and to the third one. Fuck, dude. You could just spam the shit out of that in a room and clear a room. It's so nice. Alright, the next weapon, number 5. You know how I brought up the fact that one of the developers, Mumble, no hate or anything. Truly no hate to this person. No, I said they're a brony. The 5th weapon is the Boner. The Boner. B-O-W-N-E-R. Boner. Yeah. If you're looking on the screen, it shoots horse dildos. That's so much infinitely funnier when I figured out one of the developers is a brony. I died fucking laughing. Okay. Instead of just telling you about this weapon in my own words, I'm going to pull from the actual in-game description of the weapon item that you could find. Fires 1 bolt at breakneck pussy busting velocity. Now, that's the main fire, which, after a little bit of a draw time, it bounces off of enemies and surfaces, having the ability to smite several beings at once. The alternate fire is an increased fire rate of 1 bolt that doesn't bounce. Now for some honorable mentions that I'm just going to go through really quickly. You know how you have your standard flashlight in every game to illuminate dark areas? Just look at it there for a second. Yeah. That's a, replace the A with a E in Flash, and that's what you get. I'm not gonna say it. The name of the item is called the Damp Lamp. Enough said personally. For another honorable mention, let's talk about Musky Husky, the flamethrower. It's quite literally a deodorant can with a fucking lighter. That's it. Pretty simple. Except for that, its name is Husky Musky, which is totally not furry related at all. Now, for the pistol, which you refill by pissing in it, which you have the main fire, which is quite literally like your piss stream, your actual piss stream. Like, there is no difference. You could even double piss if you want. Do the piss key and equip the pistol and hold down left and Q. You could piss twice as much as you need to. And the alternate fire for that weapon is it's like a charge shot that does more damage, which I'm also pretty sure it's a hit scan and not a projectile. Alright, now let's do quick fire. The Fertile Launcher. It's the RPG of the game. Main fire. It shoots a single rocket projectile. Alternate fire. It shoots off lock-on rockets. The Potty Cannon. Main fire. I don't fucking know how to explain it. It shoots acid and crap that sticks to people in the ground. Alternate fire. It shoots like a grenade that explodes into the previous mentioned acid. The Milky Gun. It's the previous mentioned minigun variant in this game, where it literally is a minigun that shoots fucking milk. That's it. Then the Undertaker, which uses cow souls to shoot, and if you've ever played any other FPS boomer shooter ever, it's just this game's BFG. Now, if you happen to be one of those people that really enjoys stories and games and you want to have zero spoilers as possible, go to the timestamp up above. You have 5 seconds. Do it. Also, in that section, I'm going to be talking about level design, because the level design is extremely important to the story of this game. So yeah, go to the timestamp up above if you don't want to be freaking spoiled on anything. Alright. Now that everybody who cares about the story is gone, despite playing through this game a whopping 3 times, I have a vague understanding of what's going on. I don't know if it's because I'm literally mentally challenged, or it's just that absurd, or even maybe both. The only thing that I know is 77p Egg is trying to find a new freaking wife, which, if I'm being honest, that's a pretty honorable goal for a dude, and in which that honorable journey of theirs spirals into absolute utter insanity. You go from one level to fighting on some farm against some cultists, and then the next you're fighting previously mentioned cultists in a secret factory / research facility. Pretty sure it's both. And after that, you have to fight an elder god that is a freaking cow. And that's just one example of a boss. The elder god that I mentioned, that's a cow. Another example of a boss, which there are a handful of in this game, is in which one that you literally kill him by pissing in his mouth. That's how you kill him. By the way, you can double your piss streams. Use your actual piss, and from the pistol, double your piss. Now, because I'm bad at segueing, there's about 10 levels in this game, 11 if you include the arcade area. Sorry. The levels that you play on can range from your basic bitch starting level, which is, your apartment where 77p lives. Then you end up going to your hometown, and then you go to Walmart, and then you go in the sewer. and then you go even deeper into the sewers. Then you play through the factory. Then you have a schizophrenic fever dream, and then you kill a god. And then you play the final most level of the game. The second to final most level. And then you play the final level. And in total, those 10 levels, honestly, on most difficulties, take around 2 to 4 hours of completion if you're not trying to speedrun this bitch, which may or may not be a positive for you. But hey, if you really want to try it and you think your PC is powerful enough, the hardest difficulty quite literally says the geometry of the map starts to move. And I do apologize, because you know how I said I only had one gripe for the game? Well, I'm a dirty little fucking liar, because I have 2 gripes for the game. And the second one being, this game leaves off on a cliffhanger, as in it's edging you for a part 2. And like, that's not a bad thing, personally. If you go onto the 77p Studios Twitter, they're actively producing a part 2, but considering I think this game took however many years to make up on the screen, this game took a while to make, so that part 2 definitely ain't gonna be coming out anytime soon. Now, before I finish up the story section, I would so like to talk about the collectibles in this game real quick. The collectibles that you find are notes that explain either the enemies or the weapons on what they do in an in-lore perspective. Like, for example, when I mentioned the boner, I read that weapons item description verbatim from its little page, and yeah, there are a bunch of this stuff on all the enemies, or most of them, and all the weapons. They're really cool, they're really funny. And there's a couple other collectibles. You have the doodads. I haven't collected all of them, but I don't know what they're for. Hey, if there are any Easter egg seekers out there and you want to tackle that, go ahead. It's certainly fun. The other secrets are arcade coins, which unlock secret levels in the arcade. I mentioned the technically 11th level, and you get to play cool little fucking levels. For example, you could play the beta opening of the first level, or they completely tried to remake a level from Duke Nukem from the top of their head. All the people that skipped the story spoiler warnings are back. I want to talk about one last thing, and that is the OST and the freaking sound design in this game. Now, when I say this, everything in this game makes sound, including 77p. Whether what they're walking on makes a sound. When you fart, well, of course you fucking fart. Whenever you fire a gun, take damage, everything makes noise in this game, and it sounds as cursed as you could fucking possibly think. For example, pissing, it doesn't sound like pissing, which is genuinely a downside. I wish somebody put like a microphone next to some dude while they were pissing and recorded that, and that was the sound for the piss firing sound. But hey, maybe that's them leaning too much into the bit for like the curse factor of this game, which I would understand if that's why they didn't do it. But there are so many absolutely horrendous things about this sound design, and I love it. And I don't mean horrendous in a negative way. I mean it in nothing but the most positive light. Like, for example, when I say everything makes a noise, I mean NPCs can talk to you. Like, when you piss in their mouth and they vomit, that noise is horrendous, and it is absolutely cursed. And whenever I walk by a person, I piss in their mouth just to hear the vomiting noise, because it's hilarious. Or about the one time, I'm pretty sure, even though 77p drank the milk, I felt like I was getting sexually harassed by a cow.
For the milk? It's just for you. I'm just here for the milk, bro. I'm just here for the milk. You do your thing, bro. You just get your milk, yeah. Just keep milking me, yeah.
By the way, the voice actress that did all of the cow voice lines did an absolutely beautiful job. Those are hilarious and make me laugh every time. And even though, if you can't tell on the surface level, whether it be all the secrets or any of the references and nods to other video games, the developers really enjoyed making this game, at least from the outside. It looks like it, almost certainly. And when I say that, I mean they love boomer shooters. They love shooters. They are first and foremost shooter fans. And nothing accentuates this except for the fact that I can only tell you what my favorite track from the OST is in this game, and it is by Mumble. The only thing they smear is poo. which if you don't get that as a Doom reference right away, are you even a gamer? Do you even game, my friend? But yeah, no, listen to it for a couple of seconds. This shit's pretty banging, son. And this soundtrack is absolutely filled to the brim with bangers. Some of them are just amazing, silly haha songs, but they're all fantastic. I love all of the songs in this game. And I don't say that with an underwhelming statement, because the last game I played, Sprawl, I didn't really enjoy its soundtrack. It was okay. I wasn't the big fan of it, but this game, oh lord, I love all of the songs in the soundtrack. I genuinely listen to this on my off time. I am in fact a based gamer that listens to game OSTs. Now, for the TLDR, this game's worth it, especially for the price. It's $10 normally, and I've put around $10. I've gotten my money out of this game several times over, personally. I spent $5 on it on a Steam sale, and if this game ever happens to come up on a Steam sale, I recommend you do the same. This game oozes love and effort from the people who put their time and effort into it, whether it be the producers, the game devs, or any of the voice actors / actresses. This game oozes personality and passion. So, yeah, in short, I've been Fresh Dot. It's been good having you around. Drink some water, call to your loved ones, and I'll see you when I see you, everybody.